Isn't it amazing how we manifest things that we think are not manifestable? And it happens, but often it doesn't happen the same way how you visualize it. That's my visit to Spain at the moment, landing at the beautiful venue we have prepared for a relationship revolution this week. It's called Almiral de la Fonte, and it's very close to Barcelona, but very hidden in the mountains, and certainly not an easy place to reach. Even more, it's not an easy place to just be, because it's not like other places I have hosted events fully catered or fully, offering all the pleasure of a hotel or retreat center that runs itself. Here we had and have to look after ourselves, which is a very interesting journey in the midst of having had the pleasure living and staying in Bali for so long, having hospitality to the moon and back. Just fulfilled, beautiful, and always accessible. It wasn't always like that. On the 1st of August 2017, my last marriage ended, and for me to come here and to still reconfirm my vision and my commitment and my endeavor to build the Global Love Coach Academy, it demands a team, it demands commitment, and it demands more than anything, really watching carefully what each culture, each group of trainees that come our way really bring into the mix. I learned from Filipinos, I learned from Indonesians, from New Zealanders, from French people, from Spanish people, from Canadians and Americans. So there is a real awareness that the multiculturalness of our work is something profoundly real, because we all use the language of the heart, and it is the heart what gets us together. But there's also another very important part to look at, that the way how we communicate love and what it means for us and what it means for us in relationship to our social or personal status is something really interesting, isn't it? Culturally here, it's very different to be married than culturally, integrating it in a picture in New Zealand. I say this very honestly because, Southern European values are so much more related to Catholic, religion, or to values that have long-standing family traditions. But here's also this beautiful awareness that coming into these communities and learning about how they work best, how they, share beauty. Spain is full of celebration and love and dance and music, and, it's just so vibrant. And yet you wonder, the relationships are not always sustainable, and divorce rates are relatively high compared to other places in the world. Now, does this make it a more valid reason to come here to train Spanish and Portuguese and Southern European trainees? Maybe yes, maybe no. But I would like to inform you about the fact that we are planning being back here next year between early June and late June. The dates settled at the moment are 9th to 26th of June 2027. And this work is the work to bring love coaching philosophies, and a modern, integrated, very holistic approach to, all the 7 domains of love coaching, the standards and ethics in international coaching frameworks, as well as epigenetics and quantum philosophies into the mix. My work of being a quantum love coach and working with quantum intimacy and with intimate intelligence, frameworks and philosophies is very close to my heart. It makes me who I am as a coach. And those who I coach know that it's not just a superficial ride. It's always one to go deeper and more profoundly discovering what we actually really seek, What do we need? What do we want? What do we know? These are questions that are profoundly important to be answered with much more diligently than just superficially picking one of the apples on the tree and then thinking you have already the answer. So, and training a coach to get sensitive and aware and capable of helping people, that's such amazing vision to have. So I'm so proud that our first group of international trainees and certified coaches already exist. So if you have a story to tell that is similar than mine, to know that there is an experience you had that doesn't sound flash, that didn't really inspire you, that made things much more difficult at the time you went through it. And today you're sitting there and say, I could do something with this. I could actually help others to do it faster, easier, with more capability, and ultimately more confidence and conviction to change their lives much quicker than we are actually, used to. Divorces can take a long time. Reintegrating blended family can take a long time. The relationship to others, friends, loved ones, extended family always shifts and change when we go through these life-threatening and ultimately transformative experiences. So I want to thank you for listening here, and thank you for being aware of the fact that what I say has maybe some meaning to you and your personal, evolution, your development, your personal development, and your development in your love life. Maybe you have already, created a new relationship that is so much better and happier. Maybe not. Maybe you live in a relationship even that doesn't seem to be having what it actually is destined to have. The lack of communication, the lack of intimacy, and maybe the lack of the sensitivity of who you are and that other person really is, and who can, become the person who starts the process to say to the other person, hey, I cherish this relationship so much. I want to so much be with you, and profoundly, celebrate our existence as couple, as, as units to the world, to our families, and to those who we share life with. And it matters what we experience. I want to do the work. Will you join me to do the work? And sometimes it's just one partner who kickstarts the process of doing personal development work, begin coaching, and ultimately gets so eager to learn more and more that the capacity to become a love coach is fully fulfilled. That's my story. That's what happened between 2006 and 2011, before I called myself a love coach and built my company in New Zealand. So I want to share my experience with those who have ultimately decided that that wasn't for nothing, that there is more to their very own life and ability to help others. And we together as community globally, having these lighthouses all over the planet, these beautiful campuses and meeting places, but also the internet and the, online community we have in the background. But meeting in the seminar room and meeting in a living retreat is one of the most important, most foundational aspects of this academy being founded. So I do know the difference between live training and online training, and I do really cherish what can happen, particularly in relationship, frameworks, when you actually sit with people in one room and have the sensory and the very, profound heart connection in that very moment. I wish you well, and I thank you for your interest. If you want to learn more about our trainings, learn more about what actually Love Coach Academy is all about, what the global aspect of it is, and how I hold a vision that we will have many global partners all over the planet. So there's an opportunity not just to become a coach, but ultimately maybe a business owner or a trainer for future generations. And I repeat again, this work is the relationship coaching into the 22nd century. And I wish and hope that you have all this sparkment and all the inspiration from what I shared with you today. Thank you so much, and I look forward to be with you online. So the link to book a call with me, that is my gift to you, is below. Thank you so much with all my heart.